And welcome back to another episode of Banditland Boulevard. Trevor Howard here, Tony LaMonica there, and we do have a special guest today, Tony, a legend from the Buffalo Bandits, Pat Speedy McCready, joins us on today's show. Pat, how's it going, bro?
Great, fellas. Thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, Bandits legend, just like we said. We've had a couple legends on this show, Tony. We had Delby on the show once. Mm-hmm. We had Luke Wiles on the show once. We've had Brad McCulley on the show a couple times. Now we got Pat McCready here to join us. Where do we even start with Pat McCready? Do we want to start in 1996, Pat? Bring up some dark memories there in 1996 to start before your journey on in Banditland. That's when we'll get into that. But what got you into the sport of indoor lacrosse?
Well, it's funny. I'll go back to 96. But what started me was my dad. He's actually the first coach of the Buffalo Bandits.
Yep.
And he was a Hall of Fame goalie. Interestingly enough, probably had more points and more penalty minutes than I did through his career. He was the guy was dynamic. So he kind of had some sticks lying around. My mom made me play baseball growing up, and grabbed a stick one day and had to sign a deal that I had to play baseball every other year until I wasn't having it anymore. And that's where my love for lacrosse grew.
Nice. Did you prefer growing up the outdoor game or the indoor, more physical box game?
You know what? We really only had exposure to the box game where I grew up until our high school years, where we were able to get some field experience. And then, so at a young age where I grew up in St. Catharines, we just started there. It wasn't the A's back then. It was called the Golden Eagles was one team, and the Spartan Athletics were another team. So they were fiercely competitive with each other. And depending on what side of the tracks you were on, that's kind of who you played for.
Nice.
So basically, Pat, when you got the call to say, hey, I'm going to start playing for the Cobras, did you ever think you were going to become a Buffalo Bandit in the time, or just say, you know what, whoever I play for, I play for?
So interestingly enough, I went and played field lacrosse at Brock University, and I was more of a defensive player, like used a wood stick, got into some fights and stuff. So I didn't really anticipate playing in the league at all, to be honest. I loved watching it and loved being around it. Like when my dad coached the first year. But then what happened was my university coach, Marty Cooper, he was actually involved with the Bandits, and he asked me to come out for basically a walk-on tryout in 96.
Nice.
So I actually got cut from the Bandits my first year. Boy. They could only keep so many Canadian-born players at the time. They actually had a quota in where you had to keep. It was like almost like CFL football, where you had to keep so many Canadians.
Wow.
So many Americans, and then kind of some of the Native Americans counted, as Americans as well. So it was. I think just they tried to keep the league kind of when it was starting out a little more kind of balanced that way. So it came down to me and another guy named Mike Hayes, and I had kind of exceeded expectations in tryouts. And he said, listen, we're going to have to let you go, but there's a spot open on an expansion team down in Charlotte. So I was in university. I'm like, no, like I'm in university, so I don't think I can go. But I remember sitting in a stats class about a week later, and it was just horrible to be a part of. So closed up my book and basically walked out. And at that time we didn't have cell phones, so I dialed down the middle and called the guys and said, hey, is that spot still available in Charlotte? And I was on a flight, like I think the next day.
Nice.
What was the atmosphere like in Charlotte? It's like there's not really a lot of footage of them on YouTube or any like real tape of them that I've seen. Where did they play where the Hurricanes play, or they play in Raleigh, I think. So where do they even play?
There was an arena the Charlotte Checkers played out of. I think it was either an AHL or an ECHL team.
Yeah.
So we played out of there. And yeah, it was we had some pretty good crowds. Like the first game we played, I think there was 5,000 people there, but we just didn't have the talent on the floor. Yeah, but no, it was a great place, and a great area in the sense that you have like Duke, UNCC,
Yep.
and everything around there, and there was talks that it would even there might even be a team as recent as last year there when Dallas folded. There was talks about maybe bringing, that was one of the things that they were maybe going to resurrect Dallas in Charlotte. And yeah, and you mentioned the footage. Some recently appeared like last week, and I think I was on there, and they named me like Matt Gamble or something, but there's some kicking around. But yeah, you're right. There's not too much. There's not too much footage. I still have my original jersey when I played in Buffalo. Darius Kilgore, who was playing at the time, who was absolutely probably one of my favorite players of all time, offered to trade me his jersey. And
no
Nice.
kidding.
yeah, a big part of me almost did the jersey swap, but I figured because it was my rookie jersey, I would hang on to it. And yeah, I still
Right.
have that. Yeah.
Nice.
And then what was it? 97 was the dispersal over to Rochester. And or I think it was 97, 98, whenever the Nighthawks
97. Yeah, we actually they actually folded, and Paul Dade coached me in junior, so I went over to Rochester, and we actually ended up beating the Bandits in the final that year.
Yeah,
So,
it was 97.
at
Yeah.
home. Yeah, and it was funny. In the game, we could only carry 15 players. At the time, so just again, it was all like travel costs and everything like that at the time. And I broke my hand in the second quarter. And basically they taped me back up and said, we need you, like, finish the game, right? So
Nice.
Talk to any Sabres player on their active roster right now.
yeah, I don't know, tough or just stupid, but it was
either
So
or.
I didn't even get to celebrate after. I had to go go to the hospital and get looked at. So
Was that when
Nice.
the cup was so easy to like drink celebratory adult beverages out of?
oh man, the cup was like, I remember it being like, I don't know, 4 or 5 feet tall, so it was anything but easy, especially with a broken hand.
Oh,
But-
geez. They had the
to
big
do with it
bowl in
one-handed
it,
and all.
I remember the big
yeah,
bowl.
it was like the Stanley Cup for sure. Yeah, prior.
Nice.
That was
Man.
the Mill Cup, yeah, or whatever it was called.
Yeah, the Mill. That's
Yeah.
right. Major Indoor Lacrosse League. 2002, you came to the Buffalo Bandits. Is that where you were adopted the nickname Speedy from the legend that we have at PA announcer still, Chris Swenson?
Yeah, it was Swenny for sure. It might have even been 01. It might have even been 01. I'm not sure, but it was for back then. It was like a blockbuster, and I was probably more of a throw in to be honest. But like Chugger came with me, and I think maybe it was Powell, and then they also had, and then going to Rochester was like Sean Williams and Darcy Sweet, and I can't remember who else. But yeah, it was
Pat O'Toole, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Patty was already there because because I think he'd left Buffalo because of something else earlier on. So,
Yeah, I think he won in 96 and then went over to Rochester shortly after. I think that was what it was.
Tool
like
time,
that.
yeah. It was him and Chugger.
Tool time. Yes, you're exactly right.
Yeah.
So Pat, that moment you got the phone call from the Buffalo Bandits in 2002, what were your feelings and emotions? Like, did you say, thank God I'm going to an actual team that, hey, after all the years that you waited after since 96, and now you finally get the call in 2002, what were your emotions feeling like in that moment?
Yeah, it was undescribable. After Charlotte, I basically played the rest of my time in Rochester. And I think sometimes for a player, good, sometimes it's good to have a change of scenery. And coming into Buffalo, I was like nothing but thrilled because I remember when my dad was coaching, I was literally like, I'd go out and be like the ball boy. That's, so it was like anybody going to their favorite team as a kid growing up. So I was I was so excited when I got the call, and and then to go there and play, like with some of the guys that I watched. All those guys, it was indescribable. to play in Bandit Land unless you have played there. Nobody would know what it's like until you play there. It's incredible.
Yeah, you're a celebrity there. I mean, you could walk around town in Buffalo and everyone knows who you are because I mean, I think the most rabid fan base in the league. Rochester did, at least in the late 90s. They had some pretty raucous fans too in the early 2000s. It was always Buffalo and Rochester. I feel like that were 1-2. Colorado's pretty good too, but yeah, nothing really surpasses Banditland. When you got there, what was how did the nickname Speedy become a thing? Like, did you run a 40-yard dash in front of Swenson or something? And was like, I'm gonna call you.
It was fun. It was funny because we didn't really train the 40 too much, but they did make us run them, and they did start timing them.
Oh boy!
Yeah, and I remember they actually brought a guy out and like this to go against me, and he actually like brought some like 40-yard dash shoes and stuff, and I was like, okay, whatever, and like. Yeah, and I don't know. I was pretty quick at the time, and I think Swenny just the name rhymed with McCready, so he threw the Speedy on there, and it kind of stuck, and it was like nice. It was great. Like all the little kids loved it, and it was a lot of fun. So it was great, and nobody does a job like Swenny, that's for sure. He's part of Bandit Land, and just makes the night a lot of the times.
And predominantly on defense, you were. I don't know if I think in the old mill days they had like midfielders, or they were called midfielders back then. But you were more dominantly on defense. You had a lot of good pairings that you played with, especially in Buffalo. I mean, Kyle Cooling comes to mind. I think Troy Bonterra comes to mind. I mean, Ian Lord probably comes to mind too. A lot of good players on defense. Who was your favorite guy that you would pair up with? Whether it was 5-on-5 or maybe you were running something on the penalty kill. You
know what? Like, there's so many good guys, and I think that's what really made our team special. We made it to the. I can't even remember how many times we made it to the finals, but that was a real good part about playing with Toronto and Rochester. You always seem to be in a final every year, or just missing out in the semis, maybe. But one guy that really sticks to my mind was Kyle Laverty. He was like, as far as a guy that you're in the trenches with, we would always be like fighting together, or like standing up for each other, or or just in it. And then you mentioned some of the other greats like Cooling, Billy D was there, like just Richie Kilgore, like guys that you just go to war with, and we're on the road together, we're hanging out, some of us are from the same hometown, we're hanging out. Like it was just surreal, really. And and that's the thing, being a D guy, it's all about being a D unit rather than being like a single star. You all need to function together to work properly. And it was awesome. But and to go back to your early part of the question, I started out, when I first started out playing, I was a two-way player. We played offense and defense, and so I got to play with like Paul Gate early on, and then John Grant. And then and that was a good part. Like I could always stay and play, kind of do the transition, and and stay and play if I needed to. But it'd be interesting to see if a team kind of went to that style, to see if they could kind of beat the game as it's kind of structured now with the offense defense change kind of thing, right?
So definitely. I think Tony can really attest to it too. Even if you watch some of the field games over in college lacrosse, they brought the shot clock out, but it looks like we're seeing more defensemen score than ever. A lot of the defensemen switch from long stick D poles to short stick midfielders, and they score a lot of goals too. Maybe if they brought that back, if we saw a lot more players playing offense and defense. This is where you're seeing a lot of Ian McKay's game, though. I mean, this guy can drop back on D. This guy can score a lot of goals on offense, score a lot of transition goals. I think we kind of are leaning towards that direction. But when you were playing on defense, I feel like you can get away, and Tony can probably attest with me on this too. You can probably get away with a lot more back in the day. I mean, we see some ticky-tack nonsense being called on like Cam Wires and stuff in a couple playoff games. And if you look at some of the old mill tape back in the day, these guys are just taking hacks at each other, going for legs, going for arms, poking each other in the chest with the stick. I feel like you could get away with a lot more back in the day than you do now.
Yeah, they call it so tight. They call it so tight on the D, and with holding penalties, especially this year in particular. But what you're seeing is almost a reversal where the offensive guys have a lot more liability, making contact on the D guys, where if the D guys were hitting them straight up, they'd probably get the penalty.
Yeah.
But old guys are allowed to like clean D guys out. So, I'd be D'ing up on somebody, and, a guy will just come along and like cross check me from behind nowadays, right? Where before that didn't go. Like you'd see a lot more moving picks, and then we kind of police the game a little different back in the day too, where if somebody hit Billy D like that or hit Kyle Lowry like that, I was jumping the guy.
Yeah,
and that's and that part of the game has kind of slowed down a little bit, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, yeah, Tony, go ahead.
No, you're all right. I was just waiting.
No, it's all good.
Excuse me. Well, Pat, what would be your favorite moment during a game anytime you were a Bandit? Like, say, a fight, your favorite goal, your all-time play. What would be your ideal moment that you thought, you know what, this is going to stick with me forever?
You know what? Like, I'm just going to give you the one moment, though, like, first, and then I'll give you a specific play. But, like,
sure.
the one moment that'll stick with me forever was winning it in 2008.
Yeah,
incredible. And you guys are a little spoiled right now in the sense you've won it the last 3 years, so you probably think that's what it's like. But it's to win it in, and we won it at home as well. It was just an incredible feeling. And then like a single given play, like one you mentioned, like fighting for sure. Like hearing 18,000 fans kind of react to how the fight's going. Like, if you get hit, like everybody's like, oh, or if you hit somebody, like cheering and madness. And then just, hearing Banditland, like yelling out, the box chant or something like that, it's pretty surreal. Or even like the national anthem, right? Because when I played, there was, stuff going on. So, just really nice to hear the national anthems playing and, and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, who was the toughest guy you probably fought in the NLL? Because I mean, back in the day, there were some tough guys there. There's a lot of tough guys now. A lot of big guys to go up with, and a lot of big enforcers that were strictly out there just to fight and cause a mess. I mean, Buffalo here, we knew that guy was Brandon Francis, was that guy that would, if somebody hit Mark Stainhouse in the back, you knew that Brandon Francis was going to be on the next line out there. Darius was going to send him out. He's going to send a message to the other team. So who was like the toughest guy you've ever fought in
well, I don't know. Like I remember like Steinhaus scored with, I think, under a minute left and we were up by a bunch. And then right after that, I remember Jeff Schneider, he grabbed Mark. And I was out on the floor like, oh God, here we go, right? So I had to go up and fight that guy, and I knew he was like one of the hardest punchers for sure that I ever got punched by.
Yeah,
and it was the outside because he was a counter puncher, so I knew not to punch a counter puncher, and I waited for him.
Yeah,
but he was definitely one of the guys, and then obviously Dawson, who's playing for you guys right now.
Paulie D,
he hit me one time and my head almost popped off like a dandelion. So like and big guys, and that's the thing. Like, although there's not as much fighting now, the guys now, like they're bigger, stronger, faster than they've ever been, and like you said earlier, maybe the game's moving to two-way lacrosse again because everybody can handle a ball, everybody can run transition, like the cross training of these guys. I'm just in awe of it.
Yeah, it's amazing. Even the quick transition from, hey, some of these Bandits players are lifting up the trophy in May, and then they're going to go play for the PLL Chaos in June, like a month later. So a lot of these guys are playing year round. They're in the best shape of their lives. They're all tough in their own way too. They all got the mental toughness for them. I feel like anybody in today's game could drop the mitts and fight with anybody. Does the name? Did you ever play with Tyler Francie?
Yeah,
he was a big tough guy, wasn't he? But he was.
Yeah, I remember. I remember him back in the day. Yeah, he was like a journeyman kind of guy. Yeah.
Yeah, big tough guy. I mean, the Bandits had a whole bunch. I think Bonterre was a black belt at one point. And like, I don't even know what it was. If it was like karate or something like that. But
well,
I think I read that somewhere.
Yeah, he was 280 pounds and could literally do a backflip. Like, so the athleticism. And I remember like probably when he was on the team, I probably fought more because nobody wanted to go near that guy. And and I remember him and Rory Smith, who was another one of the toughest of all time.
Yep.
Troy hit him in a fight the one time, and his head kind of went off camera. That's how hard he hit him, and those guys, and those guys are real heavyweights. Like some of those guys, like you can't do anything against a guy that big.
Yep. So I mean, tough guys in the league there. I mean, we see a whole bunch of them now. Some of these fights are even making the Pat McAfee show. They're getting these national media recognition. It's pretty insane how far the league has come. Tony, you've started going to games in what, 92 when the Bandits started?
Yeah, a couple games in 92, and then in 93 I started going to more, but in 2005 is where I started becoming a season ticket holder.
Yeah, I started going to games in 07. So yeah, me and my family, we would start going to games during that time. During the time, Pat, where you were on the Bandits. And I mean, just some of those games were loud. I mean, I don't know if it's as now as great as it was back then, just because I'm so nostalgic on whether it's the uniforms that the Bandits used to wear. I hope that they one day go back to those, but I don't know.
That'd be cool.
I've always loved going to the games, but
got a pair of gloves here sitting by me.
Oh my God! Look at the old classics.
Those
the old nice.
Keep the classic. Oh,
yes,
man. Well, they're still rocking the orange and black colors, so we got to respect that. But I mean, when I started going to the games, it was the HSBC. The Sabretooth House was there. Everything was all nostalgic. I think they had the old scoreboards with the slugs on it when I started going too. So that was a long time ago. But I mean, just the atmosphere. Nothing. It's always been the same. I've always loved going to the games. So 2007, I think the Bandits were one of the best teams in the East that year. Was it Rochester that they just couldn't shake off that year? I think they went to the semis or something like. I thought that 07 team was good enough to win the championship, and I think Rochester took it that year. But yeah, that was a fun year. But 08, just like you mentioned, Pat. I mean, that was the season where we had a four-way tie for first place or something like that in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, it was tight, and then I think we ended up facing off against Portland in the final, and yeah, it was and it was right down to the wire then too. But yeah, we had so many good teams. Like I remember like probably in 04 was Calgary, and then kind of on like we had a run. Like we had so many good teams, and just the tough part being back in the day was it was a 1-game final.
Yeah.
So you never knew, like, if your goalie Chugger got hurt. I remember in the Calgary game and then one of the other finals. So you never really knew what you're going to get in that one night. You got to bring your best, where the 3-game series now seems to usually allow the best team to come out on top.
Yeah, even in the best of 3, we still see whoever wins game 1 is likely going to go on and win the series. Outside of the Bandits in 22, I think they won the first game and then they dropped the next 2. I think they were the only team to do that. But yeah, I mean, it was a gauntlet. It was single elimination the whole way. Quarterfinals, semis, and the finals. 2008. What was the game during that year where you realized we got something cooking here?
Well, it was kind of. I remember it was kind of a mission that year. It was kind of a different year. My dad had passed away just prior to that year, and Darius Kilgore's dad had also kind of passed away. So for me especially, it was like I was on a mission that year and kind of wasn't kind of letting anything get in the way of that one. So
playing with a chip on your shoulder. Hell yeah.
Yeah, like I think that year, and I remember, I think I don't remember if there was 12, like if it was a 12-game schedule or, like a 14-game schedule, but it might have been a 16. And anyways, I think I fought like 8 or 10 times that year, and I ended up blowing out my shoulder. And like, I think in a fight, just prior to playoffs, and then I was like, yeah, I'm not even telling anybody. I didn't even tell anybody that I tore my labrum and stuff, and like, yeah, nothing was gonna stop me from like being in the final that year. And and it came down to one goal, but it was close. And we just wanted it for a whole bunch of different reasons. And being as a group too, and like having Tavares there and Richie Kilgore, like those guys were my heroes. And then Darius on the bench, and all our friends were playing, and like we were a real tight group, and people just didn't understand what the team meant to everybody back then. So to say one single game, I don't know. I think it was just the whole season, and we weren't being denied as the group. It probably wasn't our best team that we fielded, but we lost with better teams for sure. But that year for sure, we were just men on a mission. So
yeah. If you could go back in time, would you do it all over again?
Yeah, absolutely. And just like maybe not take it for granted as much, but like busy times, right? We're all doing other jobs, working full time and stuff. Yep. So it kind of, and like you said, playing year round, like, so time kind of flew by. But yeah, and I love Buffalo so much. I'm back living in Buffalo now, so I love it here.
Nice.
I'm Buffalo through and through.
Hell yeah.
Nice. I love it.
And I mean, that 08 team was so well put together too by the GM. I thought, Darius Kilgore he was the GM and the head coach at the time, wasn't he? So
yeah, he was. Yeah.
He built a great roster there. Underrated team too. I mean, they had some of the leftover guys from like the 06 championship team. And I thought the 06 championship, just looking at how that roster was put together, I thought the 06 and 07 teams, quite frankly, were better than the 08 team. But it's funny. That's just kind of how the way that sports turn out. Sometimes you run into a really hot team. I guess Colorado was hot in 06 and Rochester was white hot in 07. It felt like it was the Bandits year in 08, but I mean, you had guys like Kevin Dostie, Mark Stainhouse, Roger Weiss was on that team, and Corey Bomberry. Like, no matter what, Delby Powlis, a lot of players on that team, if given the opportunity, if they were called on to score a goal, they would score a clutch goal late. And I think that was the year where Kersey was dealt at the deadline to come back to Buffalo. So that only helped out a whole lot too.
Yeah, I think it was Dan Teat, Jeff's dad. He was actually moved for a Kersey that year, right at the end. And
Danny was great too.
Danny was a great player too. Like, and they were both kind of, similar in styles, and but both great players. And I don't know, like, looking back, what the reason, other than Kersey had some really successful playoff runs, and we brought him back in. Yeah, and he was on fire for that run.
Man, even some of the earlier teams, the guys that you play with a lot of legendary NLL players. I mean, you mentioned John Grant, even in Rochester, Kersey, both Rochester and Buffalo. You played with Pat O'Toole, a lot of great players. I think you played with the Evans, Sean, and I don't remember the other one's name off the top of my head, but all those guys from Rochester. Yeah, the guys, Sean Williams. Even some of the early Bandit days, I mean, we got a couple YouTube videos of like some of the 03 and the 04 games, I think it was. So some guys like Pat Madalena you played with on the Bandit.
Yeah.
I think that was the early days of Stainhouse. Chris Driscoll was on the team. You played with a lot of pretty good names.
The Pistol, yeah. No, we had I got spoiled. I played for 17 years in the league, and I was like, other than the Charlotte team, I think every year we had a sniff at the cup, like it was just like, was it going to be the year? And yeah, being able to stay relatively close to home. I had a year in Toronto that one year, and then that was it, Buffalo and Rochester the rest. So it was incredibly lucky, and can't say enough about all those great players. Just watching them and being around them, it was incredible.
And I'm sure Tony wants to know this too. Do you still keep in contact with a lot of those 05 through 09 Bandits players?
Yeah. I'm actually on the alumni board for Buffalo. So we get to kind of either bump into each other at the games, or just via email or text and stuff. But yeah, Kyle Cooling, Kerry Krzyzewski, a lot of the guy, Andy Ogilvy out west, a lot of those great players who were kind of on those early 04, 05 years. And they were like, we had dynamite teams, and I'm shocked we didn't win, and like you said, the 08 team maybe wasn't as strong, through the lineup, but sometimes you just gel and you come together at the right time.
I got it right here on the screen next to me. Three-way tie for first place. The Bandits went 10-6 in 2008. Somehow had the tiebreaker over everyone, and beat Philadelphia in the quarterfinals, beat New York in the second round, and then beat Portland in the finals. And I think all those games were close except for that New York game. That kind of got out of hand fast. But great teams. What do you think was the best uniform the Bandits ever wore?
Definitely not the first years when there was spandex, for sure.
Yeah, that was an interesting look.
Sure. Anyway.
No, I don't know. To be honest, I just like the classic, like the classic kind of jerseys we had, like that 08 year. I loved it, just obviously because we won and stuff. But just like the no nonsense, like all black jersey, and
you gotta bring those back.
Yeah, like they were crazy. Those were crazy jerseys, with the emblem on the front. And, and pretty. I don't know that. Although I'm maybe partial because we won it that year, but yeah, for sure, I love those years.
I think the orange ones with the eyes. I got one right up there behind me. The orange ones with the white numbers. Those ones were good too.
I like that too. Yeah, that pops there. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the threads that we're wearing now. We got a lot of the good 90s, big throwback to the 90s. And the three-peat is a great homage to the back-to-back ones from 92 and 93.
That's the one. I think.
That's
there
the
it
one.
Is.
Yep.
Yeah, I love it.
The old Reeboks. Yep.
I've got one that's all signed up from the 08 year. Yeah.
Oh,
nice.
Got some Vaseline stains all over.
Oh yeah. Was Cobblestone Bar the place to go to after every game? Still back there, then in 08 and maybe some of the years before.
Yeah, Daryl always treated us real good, and
still does to this day.
Yeah, they did throw in Pearl Street for a bit, but Cobblestones was the place. We closed that down more than a few times. I'm still in touch with Daryl today, and he's a great friend of the Bandits.
Who was the biggest party animal after the games at Cobblestone Bar?
Geez, like
Pat's smiling. I think it's him.
No, we were in to pick one guy out. We always had a good time. Like I remember one time we came back, and I don't know where Steinhaus had got him, but the Dumb and Dumber tuxedo suits, and we threw those on, and I think a brawl almost happened that night. Yeah. But it was crazy. But you never knew what was going to happen. There was a reality TV show that actually wanted to follow us around.
Oh really?
Yeah. You
recall that show?
No, they were gonna make a show, like it was literally gonna be a show of us, and it was kind of in the mid 2000s, and kind of we're all sitting around and they're like, "What do you think, guys?" And we're like, "No way." No, thank you.
No thanks.
You literally it was just wild times, and Darius, our coach, might have been one of those.
He was the guy that shut it down. Was he like, no, get these cameras?
No, Darius was in the middle of things all the time. Like,
oh no,
we had so much fun, and he'd be yelling at us, but it was pretty funny. He was always a beauty as well. But yeah.
We got to see some of that lost media. We got to see some of that lost media. If it's around somewhere, someone's got to leak that.
Yeah, it was crazy, and that's what I mean. We had so much fun, and we were always in the mix, and like it was just a great place to play, and and Banditland, you couldn't say enough about it. It was we lived a life, and it was just like the one of the best places to play ever, and the funnest, best bunch of guys ever.
Yeah, it's still a great atmosphere to this day.
Do you still make games at all, or no?
Yeah, I was. I think I was at all 3 championship games, and we and then I was at the opener this year, and obviously I jumped back into the league last year. I'm coaching Philly on the D end.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
So I was there last year, and I think we visit again this year.
Oh boy,
you were over there coaching Ian Lord last year. Then you saw our old buddy Ian Lord. I think was on.
Yeah, he was.
Philadelphia.
He was in Rochester last year, but he was. So I get to see Ian a lot. He's a real great guy.
Nice. Yeah, I think you were also at the wing eating contest that me and Tony were at a couple years ago.
I was terrible. That was god awful. I couldn't eat a wing to save my life.
Next time you have that, let me know. I'll sit in with you guys.
Yeah.
Oh damn!
I'm looking at the trophy right now. Yeah, Tony. We have to avenge that. I have to defend my crown.
You could do that, buddy. I'm done. I'm done.
At some point. Well, if Pat's going to do it, I remember you have to do it too, Tony.
I don't know. I have to get a new, better strategy against your.
I'm in it. I'm in it, boys. I'm in it. If you set it up, I'm in it.
Oh God!
It was funny.
I'm just gonna eat one wing, be like, look back and be like, yep, Pat's got it. Pat's got it. I'm gonna let him take it.
I was in Philadelphia the one year, and I get on the elevator, and there was this massive dude. He was like 300 pounds plus, and I look, and he's got this big ring on, and I'm like, hey man, like, is that a Super Bowl ring? And he goes, no. And I go, what is it? And he goes, Wing Bowl. So in Philadelphia, they basically have an event at the old Spectrum, and same thing. So cool. They crush wings, but they sell out they were selling out every year, and this guy had won it. He was one of the champs.
Oh, that's
unreal.
Awesome, dude.
We'd have to start doing something like that.
That's amazing. A couple more for you now, Pat. I know that you're from St. Catharines. If you are in touch with him, how's our boy Mark doing?
Yeah, Mark's doing great. He's doing really, really good. He's got 6 kids there. One of them's away at university playing. He's a really good lacrosse player. You'll probably see him in the league. And then his second oldest boy is with San Diego this year.
Saw that.
So
Ari.
Ari, he's going to be very exciting to watch. And then actually Mark's going to be a grandfather too. His oldest girl is going to have a baby. So so Mark's going to be a grandfather.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
He's doing really good. He's doing really good. All the kids are doing good. And he's doing great. So it's I stay in touch with him as much as I can. Doing great.
Yeah,
Trevor, I got to ask you this too, buddy. In case of just saying that and knowing that you do speak with Mark Stainhouse, any inside detail that he might be retiring his jersey anytime soon?
I love that, dude. I got it retired up on my wall back there.
I mean, honestly, you talk to him more than anybody. So, do you have any inside scoop? I'm not to try to sound like I'm imposing, but that would be nice to know.
Because we love him.
So all I can say is, there has been talks between, to my knowledge, there has been talks between Buffalo and Mark.
Let's go
about having him back, but there's some details to be ironed out, and I think they're both sides are working on stuff. So
fantastic! That's good enough to know.
If that's a cryptic enough answer for you,
I don't know if he ever makes it out to any more games in Buffalo. I don't know if he ever goes back to the city or if he's ever been to a game in Bandit Lane again, but I guarantee you, if he did show up in front of 19,070 strong, I think he'd get a standing ovation from everybody in Bandit Land.
Sure would. Special. Definitely me.
Oh, yeah. they loved
that.
They loved him, buddy. They like to hear the ovation him and Tavares Scott. It was incredible. Yeah. So
they sold the orange afros at the old Sabre store. They had the orange,
still do
orange afros.
Yeah, and the shoes were iconic, right?
Oh yeah,
you see that continuing to this day, right?
Yeah, Ian McCready kind of took over that tradition of wearing the bright orange kicks, and I think it's a great look. Yeah, man, that's awesome. But I had another question for you, and I just completely forgot it. Tony, back me up here. Yeah, give me something. I totally forgot.
Give you something?
Yeah.
Like what? Forgot. What are we talking about? I thought we were talking about the same idea.
Anything you want, bro. I'll pick something up.
All right. Well, here, I got one right now. Since we're talking about wings, Pat, have you been to multiple spots for wings here in Buffalo at all? And if you were to pick one, who would be your best?
Good question.
Yeah, I definitely am a wing connoisseur and a beef on whack connoisseur for sure.
Yes.
So I'm gonna give like an obvious answer, and then I'll go off the charts a little bit.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go Bar-Bill for sure.
Retweet that. Absolutely.
Okay.
That's my go-to as
Love
well.
It. And then there's a place, I think it's called Elmo's.
Elmo's is great.
Yeah, and they have a special wing they do up. And it's incredible. And I'm drawing a blank right now on what it is, but yeah, it's a little place kind of over near East Amherst, and it's a really good wing too if you want to kind of go off the from the main ones, right?
There is one on Military, 50-cent wings, Porter's Place, established in 2023. Great spot, 50-cent wings. If you ever want to watch the Sabres get absolutely throttled, but have some good wings at the same time, Porter's is always a good spot.
Tony, what do you got? You got one? What's your favorite?
Well, my go-to guy is our main sponsor, and that's Mitchell's Tavern up in Tonawanda there.
Nice. Well, I'll drop it. I'm going to drop in for one now that you say that for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, Mitchell's is great. Love it.
You got to go check their beef on wick. Their beef on wick is delish.
But you know what, too? There's you mentioned Niagara Falls, and there's a place up there my dad used to take me to back in the day, and it's still around. But the Jetport, incredible for beef on wick. Yeah, the Jetport.
Nice. Jetport. Sweet.
It's got so I could go check these out.
It's got all Top Gun kind of decor. Like it's pretty cool.
Nice.
Planes hanging down.
Is there a sandwich called the Maverick?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Is it really?
Nice. Yeah, it's called Goose, actually.
The Goose and Maverick. Oh yeah,
that's right. Yeah. And if you like that spot for beef on weck, you got Duff's down the road up in the falls too. So
that's also true.
I love Duff's. So actually, in a place where me and Steinhaus would go a lot after games, going back through was Mr. B's too in Niagara Falls for pizza and wings.
Oh, Jesus. Nice.
Yeah. Good spot. That's a great spot. Are you going to, I just remember the question I was going to ask. Are you going to any more games this year?
Well, like I said, the one for sure when Philly arrives. And then,
oh my God. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then any other ones I can get to, because I try to help out doing the alumni stuff there as much as I can. Just we're trying to build that and kind of get more things going with that as well.
Okay. Were you in the broadcast booth at all with Johnny and Steve that one?
Yeah, time? I did one game up there and had the time of my life. It was a lot of fun, but each kind of team does their own kind of crew. So I thought maybe I'd hop back in with some other stuff, but I only did it once and I had a great time. Maybe I didn't do a good enough job. I don't know.
Here's another thing to bring up too. Now that he knows that Mitch DeSnew went from Philadelphia and came back to Buffalo, he's also lost Mitch Jones going to the Las Vegas Desert Dogs. How do you feel about those two transitions?
Well, I think that just means that Patty's got to come back to Buffalo. I think that's
get him inside the defensive core. Let's go.
No, I always joke. I always joke that they're too good that they don't need any help there. But Mitch Mitch Jones, first off, yeah, he had a monster season in the summertime, out in New West. And then he went to Vegas with a couple guys you guys lost too.
Jason Kluge.
And then so they signed some big guys over the course of the off season, and you got to wonder if they're gonna be like a two-way lacrosse team, because they have a lot of offensive guys and maybe not as many D guys. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they run. And then Mitch Desnew, he's a massive loss. He's a great player. Great, probably one of the best loose ball guys in the league. Great on the transition, and another piece that tied into Buffalo's already a really good team.
I will say that Blaze is a hell of a player, and so's Joey Rez. They're both of those guys are phenomenal.
Oh God, don't lose those two.
Yeah, incredible. They both are incredible. It's again nice to watch, and lucky we have those pieces there for sure.
And pretty good barn in Philadelphia too. Pretty loud fan base as well. I don't remember the fan's name, but he's the one that wears the siren on his head and wears the wings on his shoulders. He had a name, and he goes to every single arena. Has a nickname. I don't remember his nickname.
Well, the one guy back in the day, if you're thinking of it, it was Chopper.
Yeah, he's definitely there.
Yeah, because I remember that from the Stand By Me movie, because he came down and the first game I played in Philly, he was gumming me, and I referenced a line from Stand By Me, and he liked it so much that he came up and I think he bought me a drink in the bar afterwards, because I got it pretty good.
That shows respect right there.
Yeah, he was a great guy, but unfortunately, a lot of the old guard fans, because they were kind of like Buffalo back in the day when they would fill the place, and it was a kind of a real there was some real rabid fans there, and kind of given the time. And I remember when Philly left the first time, the Wings left Philly there for a while. Some of the fans kind of dispersed, and I haven't seen Chopper in a while, so love to see him again. That's for sure.
Hopefully he's all good. Well, if you're looking for us next time you're in Bandit Land, I'm in 106 and he's in 119. I rock that screen mask up there. That's right up there behind me, and he wears the box.
Nice. No way! Amazing.
Actually, hold on. Let me get mine real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, he I mean, we give the refs shit all the time. He does too. I mean, he's the one that puts the. Do you still have the zebra you put on your hand too? And
all right, there we go.
Tony definitely does. He doesn't have his headphones on, so he can't hear me. There he is.
Yeah, you can't miss this guy right here.
You guys are the ones that started the "you suck" chants and the whole referee thing where you put the zebra on your hand. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the BOX cheer, like that was amazing, and I spent a lot of time in there. And somebody asked me before, like, well, how do you know Schwenny's so good? I'm like, because I used to visit him a couple times a game, right? So,
yep.
Yeah, it's great.
Whether it was
we get out of the goalie skin now,
right? So. Yeah, 2 minutes and 5 minutes, it don't matter, as long as you're sticking up for your guys, that's all that matters.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun.
Yeah, it's great. Well, Pat, it's always great talking to you. We're gonna keep in touch. I mean, good luck to your Philadelphia Wings. Hopefully they do well, and hopefully we see them make a deep postseason push.
Yeah, and if you guys are serious about the wing contest, I'll be the representative from the Philadelphia side. Yeah.
Someone give me a bucket.
Let's do this.
I can put this trophy on the line, or I could try to win another one. Put one right next to it. So
there you go.
I don't know. But I don't know if I'm facing against you.
Look
Pat,
at this confidence, man. I would be afid of going up against Pat McCready.
I mean, I already won one.
He'd be speeding away through the wings like he does in the field.
We're starting our own wing bowl in Buffalo here, and it's gonna grow.
I like it. Yeah. I like it.
If I'm beating Pat too bad, he's gonna pull the jersey over my head and start swinging. So
just don't invite Chugger. He's I've seen him put away some wings before. So
who definitely could pound some wings on the team right now? Steve Priolo. I can totally see him being a guy that's just over there knocking wings, and that dude basically lives outside. Like he's a hunter. like he butchers his own deer that he shoots. Like, yeah, I bet you he can muck some serious chicken wings there.
Kyle Cooling from back in the day too would have been my pick. I remember one time I was sleeping and we were on the road and Chugger woke me up and he said, Patty, you got to get up. And I'm like, what's going on, Chugger? I'm like, leave me alone. And he's like, no, there's something at our door. I think there's like an animal or something.
Oh,
and
no.
I get out and I hear the sound. It's like, I look out I look out the peephole, and Chugger had left some leftover pizza and wings out there. And Kyle Cooling had came back from the bar late at night. He was gnawing on the wings. So
my God,
he'd be another guy. But yeah, Chugger woke me to check outside the door. He was so worried.
Yikes!
You know what? I don't blame Kyle. I mean, pizza and wings are amazing, especially if you're in Buffalo. I don't blame him at all. If you're just out there for the taking, why not, dude? Yeah, go for it.
That's it. Yeah.
I think we found our next guest, Tony. Get in contact with Kyle Cooling, and we'll get him
Kyle
on the
Cooling.
show. We'll talk some chicken wings, and we're gonna set this chicken wing eating contest thing up. That'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, Pat, good luck to you and your team.
Yes, sir.
I don't know when the Bandits play them. I think it's later on in the season. So good vibes there between both teams. I hope both teams have fun. I'm just gonna say that. Hope both teams have fun. And dude, thanks for hopping on the show.
Yeah, thanks. And to get the plug on the sponsor's name again, which what was the place called?
Mitchell's Tavern. It's located at 734 Sheridan Drive up in Tonawanda.
All right, I'm hitting Mitchell's within the week, fellas.
The only thing that sucks is you got to drive through the unsynced lights on Sheridan Drive. That's the only part of it. You got to stop at every single red light that when you get there. But
effect change, boys. Let's put a complaint in here. Let's get that fixed.
We'll do it, and then we'll get ones in Amherst fixed too while we're at it. Let's do that. But yeah, Pat, thanks for coming on the show. Dude, love having you on. Hopefully we can get you on again.
Yeah, love you, fellas. Thanks for having me on.
Of course,
you're very welcome, buddy. Thank you for coming on. Go Bandits.
Take care. Let's go Bandits.
I can't say that, but.
Because he's on the team.
Let's go 2008 Bandits. Yeah.
Let's go. Yes. I'll take that.
Let's go. All right, dude. That was our interview with Pat Speedy McCready. We weren't going to do it with him on, but Tony, do you want to hit us with the rest of the sponsors?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Might as well just say it now. Bandyland Boulevard would like to thank our main sponsor, which is Mitchell's Tavern, located at 734 Sheridan Drive up in Tonawanda, New York. Guys, if you want to check out your beef and wick and the best wings and people that treat you like family in town, go there. Bandyland Boulevard is telling you to go there.
Right now. Or when
right now. When they're open. When they are open. Also, we'd like to thank Beer Kind Brewery, who also brews theirs from Kentung, New York, is at 2765 Kenmore Avenue up in Tonawanda as well. Guys, go check out their new Draft Kind beers and just samples that they would have freshly made for you. So go and check that out. Herney's Journeys would like to also thank, especially if you guys want to go and book your next trip. Contact Suzanne Pike at Herney'sJourneys.com. Let her book your next big adventure. Also, we'd like to thank Nino's Pizzeria, located at two places, at 1737 Orchard Park Road in West Seneca, New York, and at 315 Buffalo Street, Hamburg, New York. So go check out their pizza and wings. I guarantee you guys you're going to have a good time every time you go there in order. Thanks to those who watch us on YouTube. Give us that like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell every time you see us talking about Buffalo Bandits lacrosse. And we just had our special guest, Pat McCready. So Speedy. Also, we'd like to thank those guys that are listening in on our tablets, phones, every device known to man on Spotify. Give us that 5-star rating every time you hear about Buffalo Bandits lacrosse.
Couldn't have said it any better. Hey, look out for first of all, thanks again to Pat Speedy McCready for
thank you,
electric
Speedy.
Interview. That was awesome. Also, look out in the next couple of days. We're going to drop our preview episode for our Game 2 preview, Halifax at Buffalo. So look out for that. We're going to have that Ryan Benesh reunion game. Big game incoming. So that was just a sneak peek, but more of that to come. Tony, we end the show with
3 words.
3 words, but I always seem to forget it. Oh, wait. They're on the screen right there for our viewers that are watching on YouTube. What are those 3 words?
As Chris Stetson once said, in 3.
Pat can't say it, but we can.
Pat can't say it, but we can. In 3, 2, 1. Let's go, Bandits.
Let's go.
Let's go.